Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Witches of the Moon. My name is Dia, aka Ori of OrioOasis.com, and today we are talking about divination. Now, divination tools. I'm sorry, we're talking about divination tools. Now, with divination tools, there are the ones that are widely known, commonly accepted, um, like the cards, things like that. And there are other divination tools that are not so widely known or publicly known. However, I will say when it comes to I will say when it comes to I don't know why I looked over there. There's literally nothing over here. It's just a wall. But anyway, there is as many. There's don't limit yourself when it comes to divination tools. That's what I'm trying to say, because there are so many different ways of divining, and there's just like spirit is vast and it's inclusive as well. It's inclusive and it's broad, and there's so many different ways to tap into spirit. There's so many different messages to get for spirit. There's so many different ways you can end up divining. You may find out that you actually have multiple ways of divining, not just one. The other thing is everybody has some sort of divination tool. You just have to find the one that works for you. So with that being said, some of the well-known divination tools, are, like the tarot cards. This tarot deck I find very interesting because most people say that this deck is so hard to learn. However, it may be because I am a fan of Aleister Crowley and his work that I didn't find this hard to understand, and maybe also because I have a Christian background and a background that's the left-hand side of that sort of stuff. I understand what he's talking about, but I always find it interesting. Oh, speaking of that, when you go to do something, as far as something you're about to learn, if someone says it's too hard, first of all, ask them, one, if they've learned it, and two, how do they really know? Like, that's a little message from Aleister Crowley, that's mind control, Don't let them have mind control over you. I'm going left. And what was I saying? Okay, so you have tarot cards, and then you have your oracle cards as far as cards. Now, y'all know this is my favorite deck to divine from when I'm doing readings for clients. But then you also have your playing cards as far as cards. Now, playing cards is and I'm going to be all over the place in this video, know it up front. Okay? There's no reason around to my method, just roll with it. But playing cards are the most economical, I would say. They're also the easiest to hide if you're going to go the card route, because they're playing cards. What you expect? Also, these cards came from $1. They actually came in a pack 2 for $1. So that was 50 to the deck. Can't beat that. And it's you can still do so many things with playing cards as far as the spells and stuff too as well. So they're great to have around. And so that's the card route. Then there's the rune route. Now, runes can be as simple as writing out your own runes on paper, laminating them, going with that, or you can actually go with carved stones, carved items. I here have one of my bags of runes, which these are carnelian. Sorry if you hear the storm in the background. It's been storming all day. My dogs may actually be barking because they don't like thunder. So if you hear background noise, I apologize. But yeah, you have different stones with their different meanings and stuff. Most of y'all who have followed me for a while know that I started out with runes, at least in public, and then I switched to cards. And since I switched to cards, I have not been able to do a reading for somebody else with the runes. It's like, nah. Okay. Then also, other one knows is the ones where you're dowsing, or the ones where you're using the pendulum. However, well, ooh, my baby, my precious. While this is a room. No. While this is a pendulum that was made for me by our very own Brave Hawk. This is green. This is raw green quartz. However, while this is raw green quartz, it's not natural green quartz because green quartz is not natural. But still, this is raw green quartz. However, you can always make your own pendulum. And I actually suggest using pendulums that is your jewelry that you have. My baby turned around on me. Using your pendulum as your jewelry that has a lot of your energy on it because you have it on you and you wear it for a while, a long time. And I hope I'm looking at the camera because I don't know what the hell I'm looking at, as always. It's always weird. Well, you should look at the screen, which looks like you look at the camera, but you never really know. Anyway, because I'm going left as usual. This is a pendulum. Pendulums is what I first started out using with divination tools. I went for pendulums, and then, you know, it took me a while to realize that I was divining with candles. Like, it took me a long time. However, I guess I've been divining with candles as far as spell work, because it's not like I light a candle and then just sit there and stare at the flame. But like when I'm doing spell work, spiritual work for other people, and I light a candle for that situation, I could divine with that, which also brings me to my next one. Candles. Like that product placement? Ah, snuck it on you, didn't, right? Snuck that up on you, right? You could divine with candles. There's the way the wax melt. If there's candles in a jar, it's the way it leaves lines or residue on the glass. There's also the way the flame burns, or just the way you stare into a flame. Then outside of candles, there's the whole just flame thing in general, where you can stare to like a bonfire or something like that. It's okay, baby. It's okay, princess. It's the way you stare into a bonfire. So there's fire divination, then there's water divination, then there's those who can use divination just by a mirror. And this is one of the reasons, like, just use a mirror. You could divine with that. Like, there's some people who all they gotta do is just capture your reflection in the mirror. Boom, it's done. Speaking of mirrors, you know, cameras is another aspect of mirrors. So there's a way of divining with pictures. There's so many different ways of divining. Now, also, you know, our bodies are natural divination tools. The way we smell things. We may be in an area, we may smell something that no one else smells. That's your intuition and divination, letting you know, either there's an issue there, there's something there, there's spirit around you, or whatever. We can divine with our ears, where we hear certain things. We can divine with our skin, our skin. I was thinking of another word for skin, but we'll just go with skin. We can divine with our skin, where we feel different things, you know. There's so many different ways. Like, you can divine with the clouds. You can divine with flowers. There's so many, like this. My whole main thing when it comes to divination tools is open yourself up to what's right for you, because there's so many different ways. You can divine with seashells. So there's old ways of divining with sticks and chicken bones and things like that. Like, there's so many. There's a way you can even divine, like most people know, or is getting more popular, about bibliomancy. However, and bibliomancy is just the practice of taking the Bible, not literally dropping it, but letting it fall softly or open up to whatever page it opens up to, and then just letting you be guided to whatever scriptures for you. However, you don't just have to do that with the Bible. You could do that with almost any book that has some type of symbology or some spiritual knowledge that you recognize. Like, this book is Love is in the Earth, the Kaleidoscope of Crystals. So this book is all about crystals. So you could do the same thing with this book. You take it, let it fall down to the page that's going to fall down to, or if you don't do like this, it's just whatever your hand stops at, that's where you go. And then just whichever one stands out. Like on this page, it has meteorite, and I'm not even going to pretend like I know how to say that word. Whatever. Then you look at that meaning. You could do that with spirit animals. You could do that. Another thing, divining with animals, which depending on your neighborhood. You know, when you're intuitively connected, when an animal that's not necessarily known to your neighborhood comes around, that may be a spiritual message. That's a form of divination. Or it could be the amount of animals that come around. That's also the amount of animals come around. That's also a form of divination. Speaking of that, numbers. Numbers is another form of divination. You know, a lot of people like 1111, and now with the Jay-Z album that just dropped, everybody's on this new 444 kick. That's all I'm saying about that. But there's so many different ways. You know, one of the oldest forms of divinations was astrology, which y'all know I'm into. Hell, my favorite, I told y'all before, I say it again, anybody who's got a reading from me know. I love my astrology deck. Astrology is one of the oldest forms of divinations. Got a message, let me close that. And basically that's it. Oh, there's smoke signals, incense. Just don't limit yourself. Like if my thing is, when it comes to divination tools and you start out divinations, if you pick up the runes and that ain't it. If you pick up the cards and that ain't it. If you pick up a pendulum or the dowsing tools, a little rods, and that ain't it. Don't just stop there. There's so many other ways to divine. Find your way. And then also get in tune with your body. Everybody has a natural way that they divine, that they can divine. Get in tune with that particular way and go from there. So I guess that's my video on divination tools. I don't know why I'm dancing. I don't know why the storm is making me hype. Who the hell gets hype at a storm? I do, that's so. But yeah, but that's my video on divination tools. That right there is my cue. That's time for me to go. Everybody, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Don't forget to watch everybody else's videos and stay blessed to be a blessing. See you on the next video. Peace.